10 things that happen to us when we sleep. It is a common experience that a difficult problem at night is solved in the morning, after the sleep committee worked on it. When my head hits the pillow and I cannot seem to stop my thoughts, I like to picture the committee gathering in a mini meeting room in my brain. I imagine the members of the small committee eagerly defending my dilemmas during a nap. What a relief to let the hardest calls to someone else. Whether you have imagined or not, you probably have benefited from this hard work of the committee. As we submerge, our brains and bodies do not lag behind, they are at work, fix us up after today's battles and fuel us for tomorrow's slogan, in ways more than you probably realize. 1. You do not sleep deeply more than once. Not all sleep is created equal. When you drift first off, you just get very light sleep, then progress deeper and deeper into dreamland. The sleep cycle begins in the so-called non-fast eye movement. Then you can move to the second deeper NERM, then to the deepest, also called slow wave sleep. Finally, you land in rapid eye movement, sleep, and the wild part of writing when most of our dreams occur. It takes the whole shebang, usually between 90 and 120 minutes. So in a typical night you'll cycle through 4 or 5 times and wake up for just a second, even if you do not realize you're awake after sleeping before you start in stage 1. Tired all the time? As night passes, you spend less time at that deep and delicious and more time sleeping, which explains why your alarm frequently wakes you up in the middle of a completely strange dream. But we do not really know why periods become longer in the early hours, is that sleeping might somehow prepare you to get your butt from the bed. 2. Your mind cleans the house. Our brains are on all night, especially in this dream-heavy sleep. Among other things, the garbage may be taken out. This is one of the most exciting new ideas about the purpose of sleep. A 2013 study found in mice that brain waste removal systems are more active during sleep. Perhaps researchers we sleep to allow time to scan toxic byproducts that would otherwise accumulate and cause problems, such as plaques for Alzheimer's. Your brain is also busy supporting new memories during sleep. We believe that the brain processes the information we have acquired throughout the day and we filter the information we do not need, which may be one of the reasons we dream of. Depending on how much we use during the day, the important things are reinforced while the factoids we just do not need get the trash. 3. Heart rate and breathing slow. That cannot move. Another muscle feeling comes from the fact that all kinds of natural physiological processes slow the road at bedtime, such as the number of breaths that take per minute, how quickly beats your heart. Even muscles and organs cool. The intestines are quiet at night. The liver goes from trying to detoxify during vigilance to try to build and synthesize when you're asleep. There is also less adrenaline pumping through your veins, because you will not need to respond to your fighting or flight between the leaves. 4. Low blood pressure. Total relaxation results the body in a thing called night dipping of blood pressure. If you otherwise fit, blood pressure can drop by about 5 to 7 points with a good night's sleep. Keep your BB in a healthy range all the time with these to naturally lower blood pressure. 5. And so does your body temperature. Sleep experts are constantly quoted in articles like these saying to keep your room cool for a good night's sleep. But they're not just saying it because it sucks to try to fall asleep with your hair plastered to your neck with sweat. A cool room actually mimics something your body's doing naturally while we sleep. Core temperature drops a bit, so cooling off before bed can help you nod off. A cool room is just one of these 20 ways to sleep better every night. During sleep, you might chill by a whole degree or 2. If you were cold and you were awake, you would shiver, but during sleep the body loses its capacity for thermoregulation. 6. You're paralyzed. Speaking of sleep during this phase, you literally cannot move a muscle, only the ones that control your eyes, hence the name rapid eye movement. Sleep and your breathing are not paralyzed. Muscle paralysis is the body's way of preventing you from kicking in the World Cup winning goal, serving a knuckle sandwich to that intruder who turns out to be your unsuspecting and undeserving spouse beside you, or otherwise acting out your weirdest dreams. The paralysis is obviously temporary, but it can last up to about 20 minutes. Your once slow and steady breathing and heart rate will also become a little less regular and a little more erratic during sleep. 7. You pump out growth hormones. No, not the performance-enhancing drug kind of growth hormone. Even if you're not growing taller, you're always growing building muscle cells after a tough workout, healing a cut from dicing onions for dinner. Our bodies make a host of different growth hormones during sleep that we need throughout our lives, not just during developmental periods. One of the clearest ways to see this process at work, though, is among children with sleep apnea, a disorder that causes a person to stop breathing throughout the night. If that sounds scary, it's because it is. A common cause of the condition in kids is extra-large tonsils, so some who really can't get any rest will get theirs removed. Many of these youngsters are short for their age until they can finally sleep. Their tonsils are removed, their sleep apnea is reversed, and suddenly they shoot up to a normal height, once they're finally getting the growth hormones they so desperately needed. 8. And regulate your hunger hormones. If a frosted donut has ever looked particularly tasty after a night spent tossing and turning, at least it's not just you. Most people reach for higher calorie foods and more of them when they've logged too few hours of sleep, which can in turn, of course, lead to weight gain. Researchers believe that the hunger-regulating hormones leptin and ghrelin get out of whack when we don't sleep well. The hormone reset diet can balance your hormones and help you lose up to 15 pounds in just 3. 9. You might walk, talk, or even drive. There's no good reason for these so-called parasomnias, or weird behaviors known to happen during sleep, but luckily they're mostly harmless. Sleepwalking and similar mid-slumber activities occur during stage 3 sleep, making it tough to rouse a sleepwalker from deep sleep but not dangerous to do so. In fact, it can be dangerous not to wake them, considering their next move could be to try to get behind the wheel. Sleepwalking, talking, or driving is usually due to sleep deprivation or is a side effect of certain medications and occurs in anywhere from 1 to 15% of us, according to the National Sleep Foundation. While it's definitely most common in kids, you probably don't have to worry if you find your spouse has migrated to the living room. 10. You also might twitch. If you're not the type to venture all the way out of bed, but you're familiar with it, what the heck, where am I feeling of twitching yourself awake for no apparent reason? What you're experiencing is not a parasomnia, but a hypnic jerk. There's not really a good reason for these spastic movements either. But know that they're perfectly normal and typically a feature of that very light stage 1 sleep. 11. Feeling like you're falling. Also known as a hypnagogic jerk, it tends to happen as you're falling asleep. Typically when you dream, your body is paralyzed, but sometimes you can start dreaming before your body is on off mode. With hypnagogic jerks, you might act out a dream like falling off a cliff, falling from the sky, or tripping, says W. Christopher Winter, MD, Men's Health Sleep Advisor and Medical Director of the Sleep Center at Martha Jefferson Hospital in Virginia. Why the falling? Researchers aren't sure. It's more likely to happen when you're overtired, sleep-deprived, or stressed, Dr. Winter says, and your brain enters into sleep cycles more aggressively, but your body hasn't. 12. Recurring dreams. Dreaming is a way for your brain to sort out things it needs to re-evaluate and process before it can file them away as memories, Dr. Winter says. Recurring dreams may happen with unresolved psychological issues your brain is trying to sort out. One of many mind-blowing facts about your dreams? Recurring dreams are based partly in reality. If you were robbed at the grocery store, you might replay that over and over during sleep until you come to grips with it, whereas if you went to the store to get bread and milk, your brain would process it right away and move on.